going to talk about craniosacral therapy and heart rate variability today. So heart rate variability is something you can measure with a lot of different wearable devices like watches, and it gives you an idea of how much stress your body is under. So what the heart rate variability measures is the time difference between each individual heartbeat. So this is different from your average heart rate, which tells you on average your heart beats this many times per minute. Heart rate variability looks at the time differences in between each of those individual beats. So when our body is under more stress, we're in a sympathetic fight or flight state, you're not really going to notice a difference time-wise in between the beats. So it sounds more like a metronome, and it's a very regular rhythmic beat. When our body's not as stressed and we're in a parasympathetic rest and recovery mode, we're going to see a little bit more variability in between beats. So there might be a couple beats a little closer and then a few that are further apart. And these are really minor time differences, but it's something that can be detected and monitored, and then you can use the results of that and the trends to get some insight into your health and well-being. Heart rate variability is really influenced by the autonomic nervous system, and under that umbrella are the sympathetic, the fight or flight activation of our nervous system, and then the parasympathetic rest and recovery side of it. And so throughout the day, we're always switching back and forth between these branches of our nervous system, and that's for functional reasons. So if you're getting ready for a race, a big presentation, a talk, anything that's going to require a lot of focus and energy, you want to actually be more on that sympathetic nervous system side, because it's going to help you prepare and have the energy and the internal resources to do that task. But we don't want to be there in times where we're just resting or chilling out. That's when you'd want to see the balance shift to a more parasympathetic side. So each of these nervous system branches have their role. Where we can get some negative impacts on our health and well-being is if at rest, we're just trying to relax, chill out, we're sleeping. If we're kind of stuck in that sympathetic nervous system activation for longer term, especially, that can really impact your health and well-being and put you at risk for developing an injury or illness. So where craniosacral therapy can be really beneficial, it's been found to aid in the activation of that parasympathetic nervous system and bringing you back into that preferred side when we're at rest. And in doing that, that allows the body to free up the resources for recovery, repair, digestion, all those things that are more dominant when we're in a resting state. So one of the ways that craniosacral therapy may be benefiting the balance of the autonomic nervous system and helping us to get into a more parasympathetic rest recovery state is by taking some of the physical tension off of the central nervous system, the brain, and the spinal cord itself. So each of these bones has its own unique movement pattern, and if there are restrictions along the skull, we'll feel where things are stuck or just not moving in the way that they're capable of. And so by freeing that up, we allow for the freedom of movement in a normal physiological manner for each of these bones. And so down along the spine in that craniosacral membrane system, there's some really firm attachments in the upper neck and down at the sacrum. And then each bone, each vertebrae in that spinal canal has some soft tissue attachments to the craniosacral membrane, that dura mater. And so if any of the individual bones of the spine aren't moving as well, that can cause restrictions in the system. So with different craniosacral therapy techniques and some myofascial work, we can help to free up those restrictions and give more freedom of movement to the craniosacral system. And all of that helps to take any tension or stress off the central nervous system itself. So thanks for watching today. You can find more information about craniosacral therapy and services Bird's Eye Wisdom has to offer down in the details under the video.